Hello, class of 2029. This is Miss Bauman coming to you to talk about registration for 10th grade. As we've talked about in our WIN session the other day, you'll be moving on from working with Miss Carlson to working on with me or Miss Campa for 10th through 12th grade, depending on your last name. We're excited to kind of get information out to you, especially because 10th grade things really open up and it can be a really fun time to choose classes and kind of create a path through high school. So as a reminder, we're giving you registration information today. You have 1 week to get your request to us through Skyward. So today, the 23rd, starts the clock. And again, registration, that window closes then a week from today on the 30th. If you have questions about registration information or course descriptions, you need to go to our high school website, and then under the academics tab and then curriculum tab, you'll find all the course information that you'll need to answer your questions regarding specific classes. And then lastly, we're going to give you a registration worksheet today that will tell you a little bit about, kind of how to map out your year. You've done it before, and so it shouldn't be new to you. But we're going to need you to request 14 classes and then request 3 alternate electives so that we know what you would want to take if you can't get all the classes that you request. As a reminder, lots of adults here in the building to help you with your course selection and choices. Parents, older students, siblings are great people to ask. Teachers and counselors are right here in the space with you. We might be able to comment a little bit on what your strengths are, what we really see passions that you are exploring, and how you might take classes to kind of address those strengths or passions or future career goals. But don't hesitate to push yourself in one area and maybe back off in another based on kind of conversations you have with your teachers. Also, it's really important to be thinking about what you want to do when you leave high school. There are a lot of admission requirements by four-year colleges that are pretty specific, and so we want to make sure that you are keeping that in mind as you plan for your life beyond here. A really good example of that might be the fact that we don't have a foreign language requirement for graduation, but many colleges require 2 or 3 years in order to be considered at their university. Math and science might be another good example of that as well. Again, we just want to remind you as a resource, the registration manual is available. If you go to the curriculum part of the academics part on our school website, course descriptions, prerequisites, all the things that you might need to know more about the course are right there. So as a reminder, you have several graduation requirements that you need to meet in order to get out of here. The good news is that if you look at this list, a lot of you have knocked off quite a few already, but 23.5 credits total is what you need to graduate. And within that 23.5, you need to, hit all of these courses. So English, social studies, math, science, Phy Ed, health, speech, art, and then personal finance. This does leave some room still for some electives. So the foreign language, the art beyond the 1 year requirement, the business courses that you take are all going to get you towards that total. They're just not a required course. As a reminder for next year, you have these course requirements that you need to stay on track for graduation. So 1 year of English, and that could be English 10, Honors English 10, or AP Seminar. You have 1 year of social studies, so that's U.S. History, Advanced U.S. History, or AP U.S. History. You have 1 year of math. That will be determined by your current placement and your current performance in your math course. You have 1 year of science that's required for next year, and your options for next year are biology, chemistry, or Project Lead the Way engineering with physics. Now, don't forget, biology is a requirement to graduate, and then chemistry or physics is a requirement to graduate. So you might want to figure out what the best order and pace works for you, but all 3 of those are an option. You also are required to complete a fine arts credit, so 1 year of fine arts classes before you graduate. So that could be 2 semesters of ceramics 1 and drawing 1, or that could be a full year of band. It's whatever works for you, but there are a lot of options. The class before you was the first year that was required to take personal finance, so that requirement will continue on for your class. So you will need to take personal finance before you graduate. And any time between 10 through 12, and that is a semester course. And then lastly, to revisit that foreign language requirement, we do not require a foreign language to graduate, but most 4-year institutions will require a language to be considered for admission. And then lastly, you just want to make sure you're taking 6 credit earning classes each semester, or 6 credits for a year. so that you can stay on track to get to that 23.5 before you graduate. This does allow you to take a study hall or a student prep period every single semester of high school, and you can still stay on track for that 23.5 as long as you pass your classes. So this is the exciting part. We want to talk to you about the new classes offered for next year. So we have a medical careers section of the school opening up in the fall. So exciting. And as a 10th grader, you can take nursing assistant with no prerequisites and emergency medical responder with no prerequisites. And then you can plan in the future to take the EMT class. But again, that is going to be not until 11th grade. But for 10th grade, if you want to take that 11th grade class, you might want to take one of those 10th grade options available to you if you're considering a medical career. Social Studies will be offering ethnic studies next year. A wide variety of information will be shared there. And then STEM and Tech are offering the second class of the construction trades that we opened up this year. And so you need to take that construction trades 1 class before you can take the second one. And then also we'll be offering machining and manufacturing for grades 10 through 12. Again, no prerequisites for that. So it's just an option for you if you have an interest in that area. Kind of exciting that so many of these don't have any prerequisites. And then we'll be offering a school store class. It's going to be called School Store and Business Operations. It's for students in grades 11 and 12. So we want to make sure that you understand that you need to take 2 of any of those classes listed: Intro to Marketing, Marketing 2, Accounting 2. You must take any of those classes, 2 of them, before you'd be eligible to take the School Store Business Operations class. So that helps you plan ahead a little bit if you want to do that in 11th or 12th grade. As a reminder, again, you did this last year, but here's the registration worksheet in front of you. We are looking to make sure that you end up with your course selections in order. We encourage you to circle by course number. So you can see that for English 10 there's 2 course numbers: Semester 1, Semester 2, American History, Semester 1, Semester 2, so that you can get to your 14 total. And then we do need you to add your 3 alternates in Skyward so that we can make any changes to your schedule that we might need to make over the summer when we are unable to get a hold of you. It really does help us out, so please do that. As a reminder, these are the classes that require or that satisfy your fine art requirement. So all of the classes listed here, and then as a reminder, anything listed in green there does have a prerequisite. And in most cases, if you want to take Painting 2, you need to have taken Painting 1, something like that. Concert, choir, and wind ensemble do require an audition. So we just want you to keep in mind, obviously, your high school graduation requirements are number 1. And then secondly, we want to make sure that you are keeping in mind what you might want to do beyond here, making sure that you have the courses lined up to do those things in the future. It's important to think about your interests and abilities, not just what your friends want to take, but this is really a time to start creating a path for yourself to explore different options that you might be interested in and take courses in those areas. So if you have an interest in engineering or manufacturing, but your best friend has an interest in medical careers, we should be encouraging each other to explore those things instead of saying, hey, let's take this together, because this is a short time in which you have to actually prepare for life after high school. Always be thinking of what you want to be taking in 11th or 12th grade. And then also, we really want you to fill your schedule. It is always easier to drop a class for student prep period. A lot of you saw that this week than it is to try to add a class later on. We are really looking at those numbers on whether or not we are going to offer a class. So if only a few of you say you want to take a certain class, we won't be able to offer it. We really would like you to tell us now if you want to take that class versus tell us a year from now when we haven't been able to offer that class. So fill your schedule. You can always drop for an SPP. And if you have any idea of the classes that you want to take, please tell us now so that we can make sure that we offer those classes based on what you want. 10th grade, again, is the first year you can take so many different AP options and things like that. So we want to make sure that you are signing up for a challenging but manageable course load. So talk to your friends, talk to your teachers about what would be realistic from a homework course load, hours needed per day along with sports and activities and jobs, and what would be manageable for you. Don't bite off more than you can chew. That tends to be very stressful for students. And then lastly, just again, make sure that you are making thoughtful selections. Make sure you do your research now. Changing courses is getting tougher and tougher. we really shut things down in a week so that we can start building things for next year. So we really need you to know how to do that or what you would like to do now, because making a change later in spring or in fall can be quite difficult, and I'm sure some of you have run into that. So we just want to make sure you're taking care of things right now. We do our best to honor your elective course selections. Of course, the required courses we're going to get you, but elective course options, again, we are trying to fit those in your schedule, and they're offered at various times of the day. So we really do our best to get your first request, but they are only a request at this time. It's not a guarantee. And also, just make sure you fill out those 3 alternates so that in case one of your requests isn't met, we can use the alternates to get you the class that, get you another class. Just as a reminder, registration window is open now. You need to register through your Skyward account, not your parents'. Your parents can't do this for you. It's something you need to do with them. Make sure you're talking to others about what you might want to do next year and what would be a good fit for you. And then we will be available during the week of the 26th and at a table in the cafeteria if you just have drop-in questions. It's a really great time to just ask a quick question and get that information as needed. Thanks so much. Happy registration week, and let us know if you have any questions.